Have you ever felt like the world is spinning, but you're standing still, as if everyone is running, and you can barely stay on your feet? Maybe what you're feeling isn't physical, not even mental, but something much deeper. Today, we're going to talk about a fatigue that sleep can't cure. You wake up tired, you go to sleep tired, and even when you do nothing, you're still tired. But it's not the body, not the mind. It's deeper, maybe. It's your soul trying to tell you something. There's a kind of exhaustion that can't be explained. It doesn't show up in tests. There's no prescription for it. It doesn't go away with better sleep. You try to rest. You push yourself to keep going, but something inside feels too heavy, as if an invisible shadow is holding you down. Many mistake this emptiness for laziness, or they say it's a lack of willpower. Others just see it as apathy, weakness. But it's something deeper. It's a fatigue that doesn't come from the body. It's a soul-level exhaustion. You feel like you're trapped in a place where nothing moves, where every step feels like a ton of weight, and even the silence has become a silent scream. Do you see yourself here? You who wake up tired and go to sleep tired, who make and unmake plans with no energy, who look in the mirror and can't find the same light you once had. It's not laziness, it's not weakness. Sometimes the body stops, but the soul had already been stuck for a long time. The soul doesn't shout. It doesn't speak in clear words. It whispers in shadows, in symptoms we often overlook. That deep, unexplainable fatigue, the apathy that drains the color from your days, the feeling of living on autopilot. Of this is the silent voice of the unconscious. The body becomes the messenger. It carries the weight of what you can't name. What some call laziness is often just resistance. Resistance to keep walking a path the soul can no longer bear. Fatigue isn't your enemy, it's the messenger. Have you ever felt this? An emptiness without a name, a weight you can't explain, an inner silence so loud it keeps you awake. But what if that silence is actually a call? An invitation to look inside, to listen to what's been left behind, to hear what your soul is trying to say before the body gives out. The soul doesn't die suddenly. It falls asleep slowly, like someone tired of waiting. It's not a scream, it's a growing silence, like a candle forgotten in a dark room, not blown out by the wind, but fading away from lack of meaning. Every time you say yes when you mean no, every morning you get up to live a life you didn't choose, the soul dies a little more. Not violently, but through abandonment. It's a death without a coffin. No flowers, no mourning recognized. But it leaves traces, faces that smile on the outside and bleed inside, bodies that move on autopilot but are no longer alive within, lives that go on but no longer belong to the ones living them. This is what Carl Jung called the loss of the soul, when the self disconnects from its essence and starts living to fulfill roles instead of fulfilling purposes. When we ignore the call of the unconscious, when we turn away from our truest desires, we betray ourselves in silence. And the soul hides. Slowly, enthusiasm fades. Creativity dries up. The will to exist becomes effort. You become a spectator of your own life and don't even notice. That's when the existential crisis is born. The moment when everything feels like it's lost its shine, and you don't know where, when, or why, but the answer lies back there. The first time you stayed silent to please someone, the first time you ignored yourself to fit in. It's the soul trying to survive where there's no room left for it. And if you feel that emptiness growing inside, if life feels like a soulless repeat, maybe your soul is dying of thirst for you. And the pain you feel is not weakness, it's absence of self. You feel a tiredness that even sleep can't fix, a weight that won't lift even when life looks fine to others. Smiling becomes a struggle. Being present feels like a battle against your own existence. It's that emptiness, even in moments meant to be happy. That family lunch, the long-awaited trip, the big achievement. Everything seems right on the outside, but inside, everything feels out of place. The soul begins to scream silently, and the body obedient becomes the voice of that scream, a silent emotional pain no one sees, but you carry it every day. Lack of enthusiasm, colors fade away. Breakfast loses its flavor, the sky no longer looks so blue. The music that once moved you now just plays. You get irritated for no reason, or you stay silent about everything. The world feels too noisy, and yet you feel alone in it. Maybe you've felt this before, a desire to disappear, not to die, but to vanish for a while, to see if anyone misses you, to see if you can find yourself again. It's like your phone battery's on red, but you keep using the same broken charger, looking for strength where there's only drain. Staying in places, routines, and relationships that make you sick just because you got used to surviving. This exhaustion is more than physical. It's the soul asking for nourishment, not food you can buy, but food you can feel, affection, honest truth spoken, space to create, time to feel, silence without guilt. You drifted away from all that without even noticing. You shaped yourself, adapted, silenced yourself, and little by little forgot what truly nourished you. The soul doesn't scream like the body. It withers slowly, and that's the sign. You feel it but don't know where it's coming from. You search for answers in medicine, tests, pills, but nothing explains it, because it's not physical pain. It's your soul's psychology trying to speak. It's the unconscious screaming, not with words, but with symptoms, with paralysis, with absence. This unconscious self-sabotage isn't failure, it's defense. It's the soul's way of saying, I can't keep going like this. When in your life did you stop listening to yourself? When did you begin to abandon yourself? Do you remember what made you smile effortlessly? Do you remember when you still felt passion for life? These signs are there, like breadcrumbs, left by your true self, waiting for you to recognize them. That deep tiredness, it's not laziness. It's not a character flaw. It's not your fault. It's a cry for help. Your soul trying to stop the collapse before it's too late, before your body breaks down, before your mind falls apart, before life loses all meaning. The unconscious screams, but not with words. It whispers through symptoms, through the silent emotional pain no one sees, through waking up breathless, even when you haven't run, through the urge to cry for no reason, and the total lack of desire, even when surrounded by reasons. It's the unconscious self-sabotage trying to stop you because the path you're forcing yourself down is no longer yours. You wonder, why do I feel empty inside even though I have everything? Because everything outside doesn't fill the nothing inside. And when the soul is suffocated, it starts disconnecting you from the world, little by little, like a lamp quietly going out, like a flower wilting without light. Many only wake up to this truth at the limit, when collapse arrives, when illness becomes an excuse to stop. But what if there's another way? What if this exhaustion is an invitation, a sign, a crack in the routine calling you back to yourself? The uncomfortable truth is this tiredness is trying to save you. This emptiness is trying to bring you back to something essential. This nameless weight could be the start of your inner healing. You're not broken. You're being called. You just haven't recognized the voice yet. And maybe now you've started to listen. Listening to the soul means quieting the noise outside. It's finding a space within yourself where a whisper can become a voice. It's recognizing what drains your energy and what renews it. It's remembering forgotten desires, dreams, silenced truths set aside. The soul speaks softly. It doesn't invade. It invites. It doesn't demand. It whispers. But we're so surrounded by noise, so caught in the rush, so busy surviving, that we forget to live. And we forget to listen. Listen to what? Under the silence after exhaustion, the discomfort that lingers, the sadness without a name, that feeling that something's wrong, but you don't know what. It's the psychology of the soul working between the lines. It's shadow work happening without asking permission. Listening to the soul doesn't require physical effort. It demands emotional courage. Courage to pause. Courage to ask yourself, what inside me is trying to emerge, but I've been silencing. Listening to the soul is reconnecting with what nourishes you and stepping away from what only drains you. It's remembering the things that made you shine from within. It's looking at your unconscious shadow, as Carl Jung called it, and realizing there are parts of you there that just want to be welcomed. The soul regenerates in silence, in truth, in self-love, seeking solitude, art, nature. These are the doors to coming home to yourself. It's making room for truth, your truth. Not the one you were taught, not the one others expect from you. The truth that comes raw, simple, and transforming. The soul doesn't need grand gestures. It needs presence, lightness, a more honest look in the mirror, and sometimes a little solitude, the kind that heals, not the kind that isolates, because it's in that sacred emptiness that the soul begins to remember who it is. It's not weakness, it's courage, the first step for life to start pulsing with meaning again. Inner healing begins there, the moment you stop running from yourself and decide to come home. If you recognize yourself in this tiredness that no one understands, in this invisible pain without a name or diagnosis, know this: you are not alone. And most importantly, you are not broken. That emptiness silently consuming you, that apathy you wear every day, is not laziness. It's your soul trying to save you before the body gets sick, before the mind collapses. The unconscious screams, and you feel it, even if you can't explain it. This is the call, the invitation to return inside, to return to yourself. It's a quiet process, sometimes lonely, but deeply true, that feeling of Something is wrong might be the start of something, right? Maybe this video didn't bring answers, but if it brought recognition, that's already the beginning, the start of deep self-knowledge, the start of the crossing, the bridge between what hurts you and what heals you. If something stirred inside you just now, if some sleeping part of you woke up, comment below. With one word, awakened. Let's create a space where tired souls find an echo, where silence has a voice, and where the invisible is welcomed. If you want to continue this journey of healing and self-discovery, subscribe to the channel. Fragments of the Soul. Here together, we will listen to the soul and find paths to the light.